You won last night, but you're still 9.5 out. Where do you stand here as far as a read on the team and as time starts to get closer to the...
You know, continue to be in a bit of a disappointing stretch right now. I know there's frustration in the clubhouse. It's obviously frustration amongst fans and staff. But we do have a fair amount of time left to get this thing right. We've been saying that for a while now, and it is obviously time to get going if we're going to make that run. But despite the frustration and the disappointment thus far, I don't think there's a reason to believe this is going to continue. I know guys are doing everything in their power in terms of preparation, in terms of trying to make adjustments to stem the tide of defeats that we've had recently, and hopefully last night was the start of it.
Do you see activity picking up though among you and executives? Just say where you stand.
It's right after the draft. Traditionally, they start having a little bit more dialogue, and this year's been no exception. And you know, given the way we've played thus far, it's not a real surprise that we've had some phone calls from more of the vulture type phone calls, the type that traditionally we're more accustomed to making. But that's part of what the hole we've dug for ourselves, is that teams are going to look at us as potential sellers when the deadline comes, and they're starting to lay a little bit of that groundwork now.
How did Jake's injury change the whole landscape? First of all, just how you look at this team heading into July 31st and what it means, you know, long term.
Well, we're hoping. You know, with any fracture, it's usually 4 to 6 weeks. We initially assessed it as probably being closer to 6, given that he's a pitcher and we'll need a rehab assignment and build up some arm strength, which would have put him back probably after, about 7 or 8 starts. We viewed it as an opportunity for Hector to step in and hopefully show what he's capable of doing, that he's shown in shorter stints, and an opportunity for him to do it over a longer period of time. Obviously, it hurts not to have Jake, but it was an opportunity for Hector. In terms of our long-term competitiveness, obviously it's not an arm injury. It's something that we do expect him back once the 6 weeks or so is up, and be as strong as he was at the time he got hurt. So from a long-term impact, I don't really see it. It's a matter of getting through those 6 weeks and Hector filling the void.
Are you pleased with at least the effort and how guys are trying to execute what have been told to do since?
I'm not pleased with the execution. I don't think the players themselves are pleased with the execution. In terms of the preparation and making sure that the right conversations are taking place, yes, I am pleased. Unfortunately, that hasn't converted into wins or proper execution on the field, which is frustrating for everybody. I know, having witnessed firsthand, having been part of some of the conversations with players, having been in the coach's room, it's not for lack of effort, it's not for lack of being given the information in terms of what our expectations are. I know guys are trying. I do fear that when you have an extended skid like we've had, that guys do start pressing, and that makes it a little difficult to come out of the spin. So, you know, it's tough when you're not executing defensively and when you're not scoring runs. You're asking a lot of your pitching staff. To their credit, day in and day out, they put us in a position to win. You can't ask anything more of that. Offensively, we know there's more there, and defensively, we've seen this team be a better defensive team. So it's just a matter of stemming the tide at some point.
Do you obviously